All right, so let's give some steps for somebody. Let's say they make, I don't know, $30,000-$40,000 a year. How do we get into the first home? How do we do that?
So let me say this: 30 to 40,000 is pretty good, right? Because I'm trying to get people into a home that's making 20 to 25,000.
Really?
Yes. And so,
so how we do that? Let's say somebody makes 20,000.
Yeah.
How you do that?
Yeah. So the first thing you do is, you want to stay on your job consistent, right? At least a year to a year and a half. 2 years is really sweet. File your tax returns. Don't sit there. If you got to, catch up or amend or whatever, do that now, okay? Because you will need your tax returns. That's the first thing. The second thing I would say is focus on your credit, okay? Like, credit is so important. Like, nobody never taught me how important credit was until I realized, trying to open up a bank account, they're like, yo, your credit bad. I didn't even know you need credit for a bank account. You know what I'm saying? But at that point in time, it was bad. So I couldn't get a bank account. And so I think that it's important to know what your credit is. You only need really a 620 to get financing for a real estate residential property. FHA, if you look it up, their law states 580. Now, with a 580 credit score, it's very hard to get a loan because a lot of lenders don't want to work with 580 because that usually means you've been having challenges somewhere along the way. But with the 580, if you had 10% to put down, and let's just say 10% on 100,000 is $10,000, well, then you may be able to get into a home with a very low credit score. I call it buying your way into a house at that point, right? But after you focus on your credit score, you get it reasonably to 620. It don't need to be 700 or 650. But once you get your credit score good, then you go speak to a loan officer, and then they'll say, oh, look, you qualify for XYZ. You've been on your job for a certain amount of time. Look like you got, good history. So let's try it out. You want to find a realtor that you know and trust. For buyers, it's free to use a realtor. You don't got to pay them nothing. So they're going to work very hard to put you in a real estate property. Once you find a good realtor that you have a good relationship with and you find a property, you're going to close on the property. And then from there, don't just stop there. You have ownership. You have a taste of it. Do it again. And if you're single, I recommend you buying a fourplex, okay? And or a duplex, anywhere from 2 to 4 units. If you're single and you don't have no children or anything, I wouldn't buy a house first. I would buy 4 units. The reason why is because it puts you in good standing with the bank instantly. The reason why is because in order to become an investor with a bank and get their money, they want to know if you have experience. Well, yes, I own a fourplex. I live in 1 unit. I rent out the other 3. I'm familiar with the maintenance. I'm familiar with how to handle tenants. I'm familiar with whatever the case may be, right? So now you just created experience with that.
Yeah, hold on real quick. So, I got the 3 units in Louisiana. Thank you, Terrica. So, I got for one, we did, and that one flip we did goes on my record, right? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we did a flip. Well, Terrica did the flip. Right? I just put up some money. And it worked out. And I think I might have, I don't know, maybe put up 30,000 and came back 51 or something like that. I don't know. It was really good. And then I have 3 units in Louisiana right now, which your company manages, which is cool. But I can take that to the bank and say, look, I did a flip. I have 3 units. Obviously, I got the building that we're building right now. And I can say, hey, give me some money.
Yes, you have the experience.
I didn't even think about that.
You have everything. Yes. And so for a first-time home buyer, this is the sweetness. You can literally use a regular loan. You don't need a commercial loan. You can literally put down 3.5% on an FHA loan and qualify to be able to buy up to 4 doors.
So where are you going to get 4 doors from?
A fourplex?
Yeah.
Okay, think outside of Atlanta. We got them all over in Louisiana. I'm just saying, okay, and I'm sure like in other low-lying states. What, fourplex?
Yeah.
David, you already own a house.
I know, but I want some more. I want to be like you when I grow up. What you mean?
I think you're talking about for your primary residence. I'm talking about for their primary residence. You saying as a home buyer, where can they start?
Okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah,
so give me a price on, let's just say, I guess Atlanta is different, but how much, let's just give me an example. How much you think you can get a fourplex in a not Atlanta, New York, something like that?
Okay, I can tell you that, but let me just say, with that deal, that's why I would have been inked that deal that you just showed me on your phone, because I know Atlanta, and if that's anywhere within the proximity, that's a no-brainer. Okay, now back to the topic though.
Yeah, go for it. Well, let me just make sure.
But I'll tell you this: in my marketplace, you can get a fourplex anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000.
From what?
$100,000 to $150,000.
So let's say $100,000 for a fourplex, and you put down 3.5%, so you save $3,000 or $4,000. You can get in it. And how much do you think you can rent those other units for?
I would say about 500, 2 bedrooms, 1 baths. They usually, fourplexes is 2 bedrooms, 1 baths, or you may get all ones. Depends on, the number of bedrooms you get. But let's just say they're all 2 ones, right? Anywhere from $500 to $650, depending on the area and location. And I said $150,000. So it's not going to be like in Beverly Hills, right? But it's also not going to be in the gutter, so you'll make pretty good income. 1 unit will pretty much pay your mortgage. Once your mortgage is paid, the other 2 units is cash flowing you. You just created an extra stream of income of $1,000 just by buying correctly.
So where are these units at? Like Louisiana, where else? Like they got Detroit's good too, right?
So I'm not familiar with Detroit marketplace, but what I will say is I looked at a deal in, it was right outside of Louisiana, Alabama. Yeah. So I've seen them in Alabama, and I've seen them in Mississippi and Louisiana.
Okay. I should have did that when I was single. You know what I mean? But even not even being single, you can have a family with a fourplex.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you got 1 kid, you know what I'm saying? And you're in a 2-bedroom. But I think, if you got more than 1 kid, maybe you can do a duplex and find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit or something like that, and then make it work.
All right, so we get a duplex or quad or something like that. What do we do with this extra money that's cash flowing?
Right. So I always like to say, investing should be a part of your lifestyle. Like, there's never a day that I don't make an investment. You should invest every single day. If you spend every single day, you should invest every single day. And so find some type of portfolio that's performing well, that maybe you can put that extra cash flow in. Maybe you can put it into a real estate crowdfunding platform that's, reliable or whatever, and be able to grow it that way. You can put it into crypto. You can I would say, find a mentor in wherever you want to invest and ask them, what is the best way to put this extra $1,000 away a month in, and go from there.
Got it. There's a good formula, getting people from where they are to actually getting in the game.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. Do you do lending?
No.
You don't?
No. No.
What about a deal for you?
I'll partner with you.
What does that mean? What would that look like?
Me bringing up money and having ownership in the deal.
So you wouldn't just lend?
I like equity.
I like equity. So there's a building that I want. So I'm building one right now. It's a podcasting studio, but I looked at one yesterday and I really, really want it. Like, it's a big event space, and I want to build out like a talk show set. And not only where people can do TED Talks, events, because it's not the ones that we have in Atlanta, they're always all booked out. But I just saw this space. It's like 16,000 square feet.
Nice.
So it's $1 million. And how do you suggest I go get it? Because it seems like it's going to be like a tough thing going through the bank. But my thought was,
why would it be tough?
I don't know. It's just banks are weird. I went to the guy yesterday and he said, some lady's going to call me. She didn't call me. And every time I talk to them, it's just weird. But anyway, here's my thought process. If it's $1 million, and let's say I put down 25%, 250,000. I feel like somebody should give me I feel like you should give me 750,000.
Yeah. For some equity, yeah.
Would you do that?
Yes, I don't mind.
Oh, that's equity in the business too.
Yeah.
You know what? I might be feeling that.
You should.
I might be feeling that.
You should.
So So we would both own the building?
Well, it depends on what we negotiate. I'm a very silent partner.
I like that. And I was actually going to call one of my friends, but he ain't silent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, none of my friends, especially in Atlanta, they're not silent. You know what I mean?
I'm super silent. Yeah,
I'm gonna show it's
effort. And you know I believe in you. You know I'm already kicking myself for the other deal. So.
Oh yeah, because we were supposed to. Yes, you're right. I'm gonna show you. We're waiting on like comps and stuff like that. But this is like what the building looks like. So it was that will like change all that. But they got a whole upstairs and all that.
It used to be a church.
It used to be a church. It used to be like a basketball church, but now it was a church. And the bank owns it now.
The bank owns it, so it's foreclosed.
Yeah.
Oh, we can just go. Yeah, I mean, the bank owned it. They want to get it off their books.
Right. The thing is, he said it's under contract right now, but he said the contract is real shaky. Mm-hmm. So he said, yo, if it's a cash offer.
The banker said it's real shaky?
That's what the realtor said. He was like, it's just real shaky. He's not sure if it's closing or not.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it. Man, 2 deals in one day. You moving, David?
Let's talk about it, man. I'm an investor. I'm trying to invest every day.
Yeah.
Right? Of course. All right, so let's get into like the real estate development side. This is supposed to be a short episode, Terrica. Well, bring people back. It's supposed to be like a short episode, but this is so good. All right, so the real estate investment side. Mm-hmm. Let's say I got a little job or I have a business. I got a couple dollars.
Right.
And I want to get into the real estate game. Because I just realized today, I'm in the game.
Yeah.
I'm out here. Yeah. Okay, so how does somebody...
streets.
I'm out here. So got a little portfolio and everything. You know what I mean? A little portfolio. How does someone start investing in real estate? How do we get in the game? What's I can put in there?
So I'll say this. You say a little change. Give me an example.
How much do I need to buy my first investment property? Around about. Depends on the city, I suppose.
Depends on the industry. So, I mean, wholesalers use nothing to get into the game, right? Other than marketing dollars and, their signs or whatever the case may be. I would say this. I bought my first rental property for $5,000. I like to speak on what I started with, So what got me started was my income tax return that I needed. And
instead of buying a car, I know some people take their income tax and buy a car every year.
I had 10 payday loans that I really needed to pay at this time, like very badly.
What?
And yes, I would literally drive from one payday loan company to the next, to the next, to the next. Like, I'm serious. Like, they would be like, just giving me a haircut with these fees. And I just was like, you know what? They're going to have to come and chase me. Like, I never wanted to be chased. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I have to do this. And so I didn't even know I could buy a property for $5,000. So it wasn't like I just knew the property and I was making like this tough decision. I just knew that I was putting this money on a property. And I believe that's why I'm so rewarded with, the risk I take, because I believe it before it even take place.